Hafting is the process of sanding down the handle material to fit your knife. Here we have a drawing of the back view of a pocket knife with no handles. When we select a slab of material, the thickness of the handle will not match the thickness of the bolsters perfectly. Now here we see a drawing of a handle that's been added, and you can see that there's a sharp ridge between the two materials. We have a variety of options to fix this, and which option you choose depends a lot upon the material that you're using and also upon the desired look of the finished product. One way could be, before installing the handle material, you thin it down on the backside to fit the knife. This is an especially good technique if your handle material is figured or patterned in some way and you want to preserve the outside of the material. We'll discuss more about that in just a bit, but for now, know that's one option. For handle materials that will maintain a smooth finish, you can just install them into place, then sand the outside of the handles until they're flush with the bolsters, removing all of the outside material. However, if you've already installed your pins, you risk removing the pinned ends of those pins, making them loose. Sometimes you may want the handles to be thicker than the bolsters. In these cases, you'll file or sand the transition area between the bolster and the rest of the handle. Now, this can give the knife a wider grip and a contour that feels really good in the hand. The angle of that transition area and the thickness of the handle are entirely up to you, and it can vary greatly upon how you wish that knife to look. Depending upon the material, hafting can greatly affect how the knife looks. Up until now, I've been showing you drawings of smooth handles, but what if we use figured or patterned material? An example might be stag or antler handles, or even jigged bone, that is, bone which has had patterns cut into the outer face of it. Now that began as a way to imitate stag, but it's since become its very own art form. Or it could be any of a variety of materials in which you want to preserve the look of that outer layer. One way to do that is, as we talked about earlier, you can machine down the back side of the handle material until it fits before you attach it. This leaves most or all of the outer layer intact, and you can see the pattern and figuration of the handle material. That's the way that many older cutlery companies used to haft all their knives. Now, some people prefer thick handles on a knife. Fat stag is a common term for many knives, and the look is often desired. This leaves less of the outer figured pattern on the knife, but does have a good contour that's easy to grip, and some people prefer it. These two examples go to extremes, but it's very easy to find a middle ground, in which you have a smaller transition area, leaving plenty of the figured pattern while also having a smooth transition to the bolsters. While there are definitely some incorrect ways to haft a knife, there is not one single right way to do it. Instead, this is often just a matter of preference, and the same knife mechanic may take a completely different approach on two individual knives just to obtain a different look.